Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing great. So let's continue with our discussion on process costing. And what we have covered so far is about the basics of process costing. Then we discussed about the preparation of process accounts. And then we discussed about normal loss, and abnormal gain. Right? We have done one or two practical problems also, and practically we have seen that how to apply that normal loss and abnormal loss thing, right? Now in this lecture what we are going to do is very small topics, very easy topics, right? Just for the knowledge sake that if this thing happens, that what should be the treatment, right? So there are basically three things that we are going to discuss. Very easy, very short, but we'll do it in detail with the practical things, right? That practically how these are to be applied. Okay, see, we are not going to leave anything in this series. That is the most important thing. That is the beauty of this thing. Whether you people share or not share doesn't matter, sir. We are going to cover each and everything. That is why I'm saying kindly, please share with maximum people, right? Because it's all about you people only who can contribute to the growth of this channel, right? Many people comment, sir, you should have more subscribers and all those things. It all depends upon you people now, how you people share and everything. Okay, so we are trying our best, we are giving our best, we are investing a lot of time, having a lot of opportunity cost for that, right? But yes, we are investing now. It's your time to invest. Without investment you are not going to get any rewards. Always keep this in mind, the basic fundamental rule of life. If you are not going to invest, you are not going to get any rewards. If you say that I'll not put any money in the bank should pay me interest. Why the bank will pay you interest if you are not going to put any money? If you are going to do some investment, make some investment, keep some money, only then you will receive interest. Now that is the fundamental rule of life, right? Okay, so what's going to be the first topic? The first topic is treatment of output. Treatment of output of a process. Output of a process sold, and only part of it is transferred to next process, and only part of it is transferred to next process, right? So this is our topic, that what should be the treatment. Sir, the topic name is so big that we are not able to understand. Now listen to it very carefully, you will be able to understand in a very easy way. Say you are a manufacturer, right? And what you are manufacturing? T-shirts. So what you will have the various processes. What will be the process? First you will have the raw material, right? This raw material you will input, say, into the first process, that is cutting, right? This is 1000 units you have input, and what you are expecting is 1000 units at cutting. You got it, sir, no problem, right? Now what happened, as soon as you received this cutting part, one of your friends was sitting with you. He is into the same business, right? He is into the same business of manufacturing t-shirts. He was sitting with you having a cup of coffee in your office. He suddenly realized that you have 1000 units cut of the material which he also required, right? Listen to it very carefully what I'm saying. I'm saying that one of your friends, he was sitting in your office, he is into the same business of manufacturing the t-shirts, and he sees that you have 1000 units of the material, cut material, which he also requires. Now what he says to you, he says, friend, do one thing. If it is feasible for you, do one thing. Out of this 1000 units, sell me 250 units, right? He says that I don't want it free of cost. I'll take 250 units out of this 1000 units and I will pay you for that, right? You sell me this 250 units. Now what you are doing is, you are not selling the finished product, right? In this process, you have received 1000 units. Out of this 1000 units, 250 units, you are going to sell it to your friend, right? Now he is a very dear friend. You can't say no to him. So what do you decide that out of this production, what is the total production? So total production is 1000 units. Now out of this 1000 units, what you have decided to do is 250 units you will sell out, right? And the remaining 750 units, you will transfer to next process, right? This is what our topic says. Treatment of output of a process sold, right? That means whatever is the total output of the process, that is 1000 units, some part of it you are going to sell and some part of it you are going to transfer it to the next process, right? You can read it from the book also. I have given there in the KSJ handbooks. I have given this topic. You can read it from there, right? The sale proceeds of output sold will be credited to process account. Now what will be the actual treatment? What will be the treatment if we look at it from the practical point of view? Let's see, sir. Now remember one thing, if you are selling 250 units, whether you are selling to a friend or you are selling not to a friend, you will always try to earn profit out of it. You will always try to earn profit out of it. If you are going to sell anything, your friend doesn't know that what is the cost, you will say okay, take it, no problem, 250 units at this rate. Now your friend can't say anything, right? Dear friends, he says okay, whatever you want to charge, that's fine. He has faith in you that you have not overcharged, whether you have or not, right? So you will always try to earn profit out of it. So we'll have to see whether you have earned profit or not. Clear? Another case now. If in case of this, selling the production, I'm talking about the practical part now. Selling the output, you will have two cases. There will be two cases in this. The first case will be that selling price is given to you in the question. That selling price per unit is given in the question, right? And second one is that selling price per unit is not given in the question, right? So we'll have to see it from the two different aspects, that when the selling price is given to you and when the selling price is not given to you in the question, then what should be the treatment, how you have to calculate the value, how you have to calculate the profit and everything, right? We are going to see. Now let's see, we are going to use this question number 2 only, right? Sir, we have already been using this question. Yes, because this is a very good question which can be molded into various things, right? So we are going to use this question only, that is question number 2. Let's see what we are going to write here now. Let's say, presume in question number 2 that 250 kg of output is sold at the rate of rupees 30 per kg, right? 250 kg of output is sold at the rate of rupees 30 per kg, and the rest is how much? Sir, what is the total output? 950 kg. What is the total output given here? 950 kg. So out of 950, 250 you have sold, so the remaining is 700 you will be transferring to the next process, right? So now he is asking you to prepare the process account. So prepare process account, right? Let's see, sir. Particulars, units, rate, amount, particulars, units, rate and amount. Clear? Now let's see. So the first thing is input of material. So I will write to material 1000 units at the rate of 12. So the amount is 12,000. Any doubts? Then I'll have two other expenses. What are my other expenses? Sir, 7,000 rupees. So the total is 9,000. I have a normal loss by normal loss. Right? How many units, sir? 50 units. Right? There is no scrap value. Then now you have sold 250 kg at the rate of rupees 30. Now this case becomes where the selling price is given to you in the question. Right? Selling price is given as 30 rupees. That means you will write here buy sale. How many units? 250 units at the rate of rupees 30. 7,500. Right? Now, what about the rest? By next process. Next process. How many units? 700. So here the total cost is 19,000. Out of that 7,500 has been transferred. Now you will say, sir, remaining is how much? Sir, remaining transfer it to next process. No, sir. What we are going to do in this case is, sir, we are going to calculate the cost per unit of normal output. Right? Always remember, you are not going to write here directly the balancing figure. Why, sir? Why we are not going to write it? I'll just tell you. First calculate cost per unit of normal output. First calculate cost per unit of normal output. How to calculate it? Sir, total cost 19,000. Is there any scrap value from the normal loss? No, sir. What is the total number of units? 1000. Right? Minus 50. So it is rupees 20. Now he says that the cost of normal output. What is that cost of normal output, sir? Total cost of the total input minus the normal loss, right? It should be 20 rupees now. So I will write here 20 rupees. So that means my next process cost is 14,000 only. Right? 14,000. Now listen to it here. What happened? Sir, the cost of the output, right? What happened? Your friend says, now this cost of this output is 20 rupees, isn't it? This is what we have identified, the cost of normal output after the loss. So this is 20 rupees, and what you have done is you have sold it for 30 rupees. That means you have earned a profit of 10 rupees on how many units? On 250 units, isn't it? Your cost of normal output is 20 rupees and you have sold it for 30 rupees. That means you have earned a profit of 10 rupees. Right? You have earned a profit of 10 rupees. So this profit you are going to write here to costing P&L account, to costing profit and loss account. 250 units, 10 rupees is the profit and 2,500. So here my value will be, here my value is going to be 21,500, and here also it is going to be 21,500, right? 1000 units input, 1000 units output. Any doubt in this thing, right? So to identify the profit, we calculated this cost per unit of normal output, right? This 250 units that we have sold, the cost of that was 20 rupees, but we have sold it for 30 rupees, right? That means we have earned a profit of 10 rupees on this. Any doubts? Any doubts up till this point? Right? Now, let's assume another scenario. Let's assume another scenario now. Sir, what is that another scenario? Presume in question number 2 that 250 units, 250 kg of output is sold. Now what he is saying? He says that out of the 950 kg, you have sold 250 kg. Correct, sir? We have sold it. No issues in that. right? You have sold 250 kg, but the rate at which you have sold is not given, right? So this becomes my second scenario. This is what I was talking about, sir. This scenario where the selling price per unit is not given to you. Clear? Right, sir? So what should be done here? Now in this case, if the selling price per unit is not given to you, then it means you have sold the product at its cost, right? What it means, if the selling price of this product is not given to you, now if the selling price is not given, we say that the units have been sold at cost. Units have been sold at cost. What does cost here means? What does cost here means? Cost here means the cost per unit of normal output. Cost per unit of normal output. Right, sir? Any doubts? I hope this much is clear. Let's see now how to solve it. So we are going to prepare the process account for this, right? And the format remains the same: particulars, units, rate, and amount. Particulars, unit, rate, and amount. Right? Now, the first thing that we require is the input. Input is of raw material to material. 1000 units at the rate of rupees 12,000 to other expenses 7,000, right? And there is a normal loss, and there is a normal loss of 50 units, no scrap value. Now you have sold by sale proceeds how many? 250 units, and by next process account, that is 700 units. Now what you are not given is the price at which you have sold. That you have to calculate. For that, what you will do is you will calculate cost per unit of normal output. Cost per unit of normal output. What is my total cost here? 19,000. Any scrap value being realized from the normal loss? No, sir. Clear? After that, how many units? 1000, normal loss 50, so 20 is my cost per unit. That means now whatever sales we are doing, we are doing the sales at 20 rupees only. Right? Now when the selling price is not given, it has to be 20 rupees, that is at cost. It has to be 20 rupees, that is at cost, right? So 5,000 and 14,000, right? So here 1000 units and 19,000 is the total. 1000 and 19,000. Any doubts up till this point? I hope this is clear. So in case you sell a part of your output, right, there are two cases. One is if the selling price per unit is given to you, and the second case is if the selling price per unit is not given to you, then in that case how you have to treat it. Any doubts? Okay, so with this topic is over. That treatment of output of a process sold, and only the part of it is transferred to the next process, right? Now let's come to the next topic. Next topic is realizable value. Realizable value of packages and empties. of packages and empties. Now this is a very simple topic. What it says that, sir, you received a raw material, right, which is packed in this container. Here is raw material packed, right? Now what happens when this raw material reaches your factory? Right? What you will do? You will take out the raw material out of this box and you will keep this box aside. What you will do with this box? So you are going to sell this box. You must have seen the newspaper being given to the person who takes the newspaper, old newspapers, isn't it? What you are doing? You are selling the scrap to him, scrap dealer, right? What you are doing? You are selling the old newspapers to a scrap dealer, and he will pay some amount. See, what will happen if you are buying the newspaper? See, you can say if you are buying a newspaper for say 3 rupees, right? Then you are going to sell a newspaper. Sell a newspaper means you are giving it to the scrap dealer, right? Say it is 1 rupee per newspaper when you are selling it to a scrap dealer, right? Selling a newspaper to scrap dealer. Now what will happen, sir? What will happen? This is your cost, right? This is what you are paying out of your pocket, and this 1 rupee is what you will be receiving in your pocket. That means your cost will reduce by 1 rupee. Your net cost will be 3 minus 1 rupees 2. That means if you are selling some packages or empties is the same thing, right? Raw material is packed in a container. After that container you are going to dispose of, or you are going to sell it to a scrap dealer, right? When you are going to sell it to a scrap dealer, he will pay you something, right? He will pay you something that will reduce your cost. So these packages and empties, they are bound to reduce the cost, right? They will reduce your cost. Now if they are going to reduce your cost, how you are going to treat it in the process account then? Right? These will be shown to the credit of process account. Credit to process account, right? So I have given it in the books also. The normal realizable value of packages and empties will be credited to process account by the name of empties and packages. Any doubts in this thing? Right? So next topic, third topic, last for this lecture. Treatment of inventory. Treatment of inventory which needs to be recycled, right? Now what happens, sometimes what happened, sir, in a particular process, say in process P1, you have input of 1000 units. You have input of 1000 units, right? Now out of this input, say there is an output of 900 units. 900 units. Sir, what about the balance 100 units? Out of this balance 100 units, 50 is your normal loss, right? Sir, what about the remaining 50? The remaining 50 is what? The output that you received was not up to the mark, right? As per the quality standards you have set, it was not up to the mark. So what do you say to your manager? You will say that go again and reprocess them. Reprocess these 50 units in the same process, right? I'm not going to accept this quality, right? This 50 is your normal loss, that is fine. 900 units you have received. Now this balance 50 units, he says that these are not up to the mark. This is not the standards that we have set. Go and reprocess them in the same process. That means this 50 units will keep lying in this process P1, right? What this will become is, this will become my closing inventory. This will become my closing inventory of process P1, right? And until and unless it is reprocessed, it is recycled, it will remain in the closing inventory, and after it is recycled, it will become my finished good. Now this closing inventory, it will be shown as opening. It will be shown as opening of the same process, in the next period, right? So it will not be shown as opening of the next process. What I have written, it will be shown as opening of the same process but in the next period. Say this data is related to April 21, right? So it will become the opening of May 21. Clear? So it will become the opening of May 21. It will not be the opening of the next process. It will be the opening of the same process in the next period, right? So this is how you have to treat the inventory which is to be recycled, which is to be reprocessed. It will be shown as closing inventory in the process P. And where to show this closing inventory? It will be shown on the credit side, right? What will be the rate? Sir, the rate will be the rate at which you have input the inventory, right? The rate will be the rate at which you have input the inventory. At the same rate you are going to record the closing inventory, right? Because this is not yet a finished product for you. It is still a raw material which is to be recycled, reprocessed, right? So at the rate at which you have recorded the input, the same rate you are going to use for this. Any doubts? Clear? Now, these are the three small topics that I wanted to discuss before we move on to the most important part of the process costing, right? Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to do one question, that is question number 3. Sir, finally we are moving on to the next question. Great. Okay, let's see question number 3. Process input is 600 units at a cost of 30 per unit. Other expenses at the process are 9540. 5% is the normal waste. Waste realizes 8 per unit. 10% of the input needs to be recycled, right? He says 10% of input means 10% of this thing. Actual output is 460 units. Prepare the process account. Are you going to prepare it or should I prepare it? No, sir. We can't prepare it, sir. We are small kids. We need spoon feeding, sir. Isn't it? Yes, sir. Okay, let's do it. Let's do question number 3. Question number 3. So now, first thing that we are going to prepare is process account. Process account. Particulars. Units, rate, amount. Particulars, units, rate and amount. Right, sir. So the first thing is the input of material. How many units of the material you are inputting? 2 material, right? 600 units at the rate of rupees 30. That means 18,000. What are the other expenses? Other expenses, that is 9540. Right? After that, he says there is a normal loss provision. By normal loss, how much? Sir, only 5%. 30 units, right? 5% of 600. Now read the question carefully. Sir, he says that the waste realizes 8 per unit. That means you are going to realize 8 rupees out of it. That is 240 is the scrap value that you are realizing, right? Now he says that some units are to be recycled. How many? 10% of the input. What is the input? 600 units, right? So I'll write by closing stock. By closing stock, how many units? 60 units. Now the rate at which you are going to record it is the rate at which you have input, that is 30 rupees. So 1800. Any doubts? Now, what is the final output that you are transferring to the next process? By next process. How many units? 460 units. Sir, what is the total units that you have input? 600. Now, is this 600? 30 plus 60, 90 plus 460. How many? Sir, 550. Sir, you have input 600 units, but there is an output of only 550 units. Where are the remaining 50 units? Can you tell me? Sir, where are the remaining 50 units? Sir, we have taken the normal loss. We have taken the closing stock. Next process 460 units. It is given in the question, so we can't do anything about it. This means if there is a difference between the input and output, this means the remaining 50 units is what? It is my abnormal loss. We have already discussed about abnormal loss, sir. Isn't it? We have already discussed about the abnormal loss. So that means the remaining by abnormal loss, right? 50 units. Now, sir, what will be the rate? For rate, you will have to calculate the cost per unit of normal output. Now, we are going to calculate cost per unit of normal output. Let's see. Cost per unit of normal output. Sir, what is your total cost? 18,000 plus 9,540, that becomes 27,540. Out of that, what is your normal loss? Is there any scrap value out of the normal loss? Yes, 240 rupees. Now, sir, what to do about this closing stock? Sir, you will reduce this closing stock also, because this is not yet your finished product, right? So this is not your output. What is normal output? 600 units you have input, out of which 30 is normal loss, 60 is in the closing stock, which has not yet converted into the output. So we cannot take it into the value of the output, right? So you will reduce the value of the closing stock also and divide it by 600 units input minus 30 normal loss minus 60 which are still lying in the stock, right? So that becomes rupees 50. That means sir, here you will take 50, here you will take 50. Any doubts? 2,500 and 23,000. So the total here is now 600. Total is 27,540 and 27,540. Any doubts in the process account? Clear, sir? Now, if I ask you, in this question, if I ask you to prepare the normal loss and the abnormal loss account, how you will prepare it? Let's see. Normal loss account. Particulars. Units, rate, amount. Particulars, units, rate and amount. So what you are going to write here? To process account, right? How many units? 30 units at the rate of scrap value is 8, 240. So now that you have received the scrap value, you will write here by cash or bank. By cash, by bank, by sale proceeds, you can write anything out of it. 240. Right? So your account is closed here. So this is a simple normal loss account. Now if I ask you to prepare the abnormal loss account, what will be that? Abnormal loss account, right? Particulars, units, rate and amount. Particulars, units, rate and amount. Now, the first thing that you will write here is to process account, right? 50 units at the rate of 50, 2,500. Any doubts? Now read the question carefully. Read the question carefully. The question says waste realizes rupees 8 per unit. Now, what is the definition of this waste? The question is saying that waste realizes 8 per unit, right? Sir, this waste includes both. This waste can be normal waste. This can be a normal waste, or this can be an abnormal waste. Right? So you have to be very careful while reading the question. If the question says waste realizes 8 per unit, that means this is the scrap value given for both the normal waste and the abnormal waste, right? But if the question specifically mentions that normal waste realizes 8 per unit and says nothing about the abnormal waste, that means in that case there is no realization, no scrap value from the abnormal waste. Clear? Write down this rule in your notebooks. If the question only reads waste realizes 8 per unit, then it means that it is the scrap value given for both normal and abnormal waste. But if the question specifically says that the normal waste realizes 8 per unit, that means it is related to the normal waste only. In that case, the abnormal waste will not be having any scrap value, it will be 0. Clear? Now in this question, in this part, the question says the waste realizes 8 per unit. That means he is talking about both abnormal and normal. So I will write here by cash or by bank. That means we are going to realize 8 rupees. On 50 units, 8 rupees we are realizing, sir. Right? 400, and the remaining will be transferred to costing P&L account. Costing profit and loss account, 50 units. Right, remaining is 2100. Clear? So total here is 2500 and total here is 2500. Any doubts? So this is how the abnormal loss account will be prepared. Clear? So we are done with question number 3 also. I hope this is clear. So these are the small topics that I wanted to discuss. Important topics, sir. Right? You cannot skip even a single topic from the examination point of view. Everything should be clear. Even if this topic is not directly given in any of the books, you can be asked in any of the question by ICI, right? So if you are clear about these topics, you will be able to attempt any question that can be asked. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is, in the next lecture, we are going to start with very, very important topics, that is process inventories, right? We are going to start with process inventories, which are very, very, very important, right? And the handbooks are a must for the process inventories. I'll be reading a lot of things from the handbooks. The choice is yours, right? I'll not make you write. I'll read it from the handbook. So the handbooks are a must for all the chapters, right? So see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep sharing, keep studying. Thank you so much.